So, next on deck, those watching these in order, is the Commando trophy case. He's wearing some odd skins right now. And for the record, if you're hearing an exceptionally large amount of white noise in the background of my broadcast, it's because I technically have two fans running. It's very hot where I am right now. You might also hear me drinking things from time to time. But, so, I'm quickly going to change his skins head and skin, just because they're a little weird. Alright, he's wearing the mission head, which was the result order. I could have him wear the Lancer head. There's some of the DLC heads and the skin packs. So far I've had this one, which technically goes with this skin, but it also looks pretty good. Which one was it? Any skin where the beard is a natural color, I feel is a good look. Especially if it makes him look like an actual kind of old western fella. Like that Maliwan stuff is just kind of silly, because red beard, blue beard. The Jacobs skins are usually pretty good for that. Ooh. I want to say I had him wearing Bandit Blood and Rust. Because it was because of the type of head this one is, it doesn't show the face paint the way some of the default heads do. These guys, this skin comes with a face paint. But on a lot of characters, like a lot of the DLC heads and the skin pack heads, it just doesn't show up like that. So, the whole point of being here is to look at the trophy case. And here we go. I'm doing each character separately just so I can get each upload to YouTube a little easier, because Twitch says it's going to chop up my videos if I don't keep them under 15 minutes. So, alright, so the Commando is the trophy case for rocket launchers and grenades. He's got a couple relics in there too. And of those two categories, there's not a whole lot of stuff to find. As you'll see, I actually have two versions of this one launcher here. It's the one that comes out of the Scarlet DLC. It's actually quite neat. It fires a cannonball. Still explodes, but I think it bounces first if you aim too close to yourself. So I have a first tier version. No, they're both first tier, but... And neither is more vendor pure than the other. They're both 2 parts Torg. Miss Moxie's Creamer comes from the Wildlife Preserve Circle of Slaughter. It's one of the Moxie kit items. Like the sniper rifle I talked about in the last video, the assassin one, this is the launcher from her kit. And this one is only 2 parts pure. It's the Torg body and grip. Barrel is Maliwan, the backblast is Vladov. As for grenades, he has a fastball in here right now. There's if you get an explosive fastball, it is one of the best grenades you'll ever have. It has a very small blast area, but if you hit your enemy dead on, it essentially does as much damage as a rocket. He has a caustic leech. The leech, especially when caustic, is a really good grenade to use against robots. Just because, you know, the children grenades get out there and they just find the enemy and they steal the health from them. And I have two versions of the leech. This one is electric. This is one of the ones that was just dropping from loot midgets. Just like at one point I had like 5 leech grenades, and most of them were caustic. This is the Fuster Cluck. You get this from a Tiny Tina mission, and it comes in the different elemental types as well. So for the sake of the fact that there aren't a whole lot of unique grenades and rocket launchers in the game, I've allowed for my Commando specifically to have different versions of the same grenade, just because they're all flavor texted and unique items, so they can all, if there's room in the trophy case, I figure why not. So that is the explosive version, and this is a pretty good grenade too, when it's level appropriate, because it throws already merved, so it's like you're throwing 5 or 6 pieces. The Kiss of Death that you get from the Moxie mission in Opportunity. It's not described this way, but it does steal health. It's kind of a merv that actually steals health. So I don't know if the merv's the best. Incendiary version, explosive version, shock version. Captain Blade's Midnight Star from the Pirate DLC. It's much like there's a Moxie kit, there's also a Scarlet kit. So that pounder, the rocket launcher, the pounder up top, that's from the Captain Blade. No, sorry, that's from the Scarlet kit. This is from the Captain Blade kit. This silly grenade. These grenades all come with a major liability variable. This one says Curse of the Cackling Designer. When you throw it, the merv pieces of it all come flying back at you. Needless to say, I've never used it in combat. Contraband Skyrocket. People who pre-ordered got this. As you can see, it says damage is based on player level, so it's almost always useful. It also says not for indoor use. This grenade can be your best friend or your worst enemy, because I've actually found it incredibly useful indoors, because it flies up like a firework and then goes off like a firework. If there are enemies in the radius, it's almost guaranteed to kill them. The problem is, if it bounces back at you, you're going to ask yourself, why did I just do that? And I've asked myself that more than once. So I have another Fuster Clucker. Yeah, so I have the Incendiary and the Explosive in a second playthrough version. I only have the Shock as of first play version. I only found the Shock Fuster 1. And that is it for Heavy Case. Carting around, nothing terribly impressive. I'll get to this when I get to my Mechromonster. I think she still has hers. He's carrying anything orange. No. He's carrying a fireball. Since he's the grenade guy, I will put this in this video. The fireball and the lightning bolt both come out of the Dragon's Keep DLC. These are two of the most useful things you will find in this game, because if you have them equipped, you generate grenade ammo. So the meter in the bottom that says 9 out of 13. As you're running around, when you're in a non-combat situation where you're just moving from point to point, having this thing equipped will regenerate ammo for you. As you can see, it just put... So like I said, the fireball and the lightning bolt from the Dragon's Keep DLC. Two of the most useful things you'll ever find in this game. So I am just going to quickly stop my broadcast. I'm going to move on to my next